On January 3, 2025, a 68-year-old former warehouse supervisor named Patricia logged into her Social Security account for the first time since she started receiving benefits 2 years earlier. She had worked 41 years. She had paid into the system since she was 27. Her monthly benefit was $1,147. She had structured her entire retirement around that number. What Patricia found in her account was a notice she had not expected. The Social Security Administration was projecting a 21% across-the-board benefit cut, applicable to all 72 million current and future recipients in 2033, not in 2050, not in some distant hypothetical future, 2033, 8 years from the day she sat reading that screen. Patricia had never been told this was possible. She had worked 41 years under the assumption that the number on her annual Social Security statement was a guarantee. It is not a guarantee. It has never been a guarantee. And the people who have known this for decades, the actuaries, the economists, the members of Congress who receive the Social Security Trustees Report every single year, have been extraordinarily effective at not telling you. Comfort is the enemy of survival. Here is the architecture of the crisis, explained plainly. Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system. The payroll taxes collected from today's workers fund today's benefits. This is not a retirement account. There is no fund somewhere with your name on it, accumulating returns. The money you pay in taxes today goes directly to a current beneficiary. The money you receive in retirement will come directly from whoever is working at that time. This design works when the ratio of workers to retirees is favorable. In 1950, there were 16 workers for every Social Security recipient. In 1960, there were 5. Today, there are 2.7. By 2035, the ratio will be 2.3. And at 2.3 workers per retiree, the math does not close. The Social Security Trust Fund, the reserve built up during decades when more workers were paying in than retirees were taking out, has been drawn down every year since 2021. The 2024 Trustees Report projects that the combined trust funds will be exhausted by 2033. At that point, incoming payroll taxes will cover only 79% of scheduled benefits. The law requires Social Security to pay only what it collects, which means that in 2033, if nothing is changed, every benefit check will be cut by 21%, automatically, by law, with no additional congressional vote required. This is not a projection. This is the Social Security Administration's own official math, published annually since 1941. 3 dimensions of this crisis, each one revealing a different layer of a problem that has been visible for decades and ignored for decades. First, the demographic collapse. The boomer retirement wave is not a surprise. It has been visible since the boomers were born. The Census Bureau has tracked it continuously. Every actuarial model run since 1983, the year of the last major Social Security reform, has shown the same long-term funding cliff arriving in the early 2030s. That reform, the Greenspan Commission's recommendations implemented under Reagan and Tip O'Neill, bought 40 years. Those 40 years are now gone. The bipartisan political willingness to make painful choices that existed in 1983 has not reappeared. Each passing year without reform makes the required adjustment larger, more painful, and more politically toxic. And so each year the conversation is deferred again. Second, the disability insurance crisis within the crisis. Social Security is not only a retirement program. It includes the Social Security Disability Insurance Program, which provides benefits to approximately 9 million Americans who cannot work due to disability. The Disability Insurance Trust Fund came within months of insolvency in 2016, requiring an emergency reallocation from the retirement fund to prevent an immediate 20% benefit cut to disabled recipients. The reallocation was called a fix in press coverage. It transferred the problem rather than solving it. The combined system's insolvency date moved from 2033 to 2034 in exchange for depleting the disability reserve. The underlying demographics and funding math were unchanged. Third, the income cap distortion. Social Security payroll taxes are collected on wages up to $168,600 in 2024. Income above that threshold, whether from wages or investment returns, is not subject to Social Security tax. This means that a surgeon earning $400,000 a year pays Social Security tax on 42% of their income. A warehouse supervisor earning $52,000 pays on 100% of their income. The people who can most afford to contribute to the system's solvency pay a declining effective rate as their income rises. The Treasury estimates that eliminating the income cap entirely would close approximately 73% of the long-term funding shortfall, without cutting a single benefit. This proposal has been introduced in Congress 17 times in the last 30 years. It has never passed. The politics of Social Security reform are deliberately frozen. There are 72 million current beneficiaries. They vote at higher rates than any other demographic group. Any politician who proposes benefit cuts faces immediate, organized opposition from one of the most powerful voting blocs in American democracy. Any politician who proposes raising taxes faces opposition from the high-income households who fund campaigns at the top end of the income scale. The rational political strategy, the strategy that has been executed by members of both parties for 40 years, is to do nothing, publish the actuarial report, and hope the insolvency date falls after your time in office. It is working perfectly, until 2033. Here is what 2033 actually looks like in human terms. The average Social Security benefit in 2026 is approximately $1,997 per month. A 21% cut brings that to $1,007. For the 40% of retirees who rely on Social Security for more than 90% of their income, approximately 15 million people, overwhelmingly women, people of color, and workers who never accumulated significant private savings, that $400 monthly cut is not a minor inconvenience. It is the difference between covering rent and not covering rent, between eating adequately and not eating adequately, between living independently and moving in with family members who may not be financially positioned to absorb that cost. The social and economic downstream effects of a 21% cut to benefits for 72 million Americans would ripple through every sector of the economy that depends on retiree spending: healthcare, housing, consumer retail, food services. The ripple would hit hardest in the regions: rural America, the industrial Midwest, the Deep South, where Social Security income represents a disproportionate share of local economic activity. Patricia, sitting at her kitchen table in January 2025, did not cause this crisis. She paid into the system for 41 years in good faith. The people who caused this crisis are the ones who received the Trustees Report every year since 1984 and chose, year after year, to take the politically safe path rather than the mathematically necessary one. The question you have to sit with is this: knowing that the insolvency date is 2033, knowing that the required fix, some combination of higher contributions and adjusted benefits, grows more painful with every year of delay, knowing that the people in a position to act have the most powerful political incentive to delay until the crisis forces their hand. What exactly do you think is going to happen? And more importantly, is the number on your Social Security statement the number you are planning your retirement around? Because that number has an asterisk, and the asterisk says 2033, and the footnote is 80 pages long.